Hello everyone, it's great to see you all again on such an exciting day. In the morning, I will prepare a simple meal, but full of the flavors of home. Next, I reserve some food for my beloved dogs, loyal friends who are always by my side in my daily life. And especially, today I will make wind-dried persimmons with you, a traditional dish with a unique preparation method. Both retains the natural sweetness of persimmons and creates a new, unforgettable flavor. This is not only a daily job, but also a joy, a connection with the simple countryside life. And now, please follow the entire journey in today's video. This morning, I went to the kitchen to prepare some fragrant smoked meat. Carefully selected pieces of meat are pre-processed to start a delicious meal. After taking out enough meat to cook, I washed it again with boiling water. This method not only helps clean, but also removes the layer of smoke on the outside, to keep the meat more delicious and pure when processed. After pouring boiling water in, I immediately washed each piece of meat. The meat is now clearer and more fragrant, ready for the next step. Each piece of meat after washing begins to reveal its appeal fresh color. Firm meat fibers, characteristic aroma gradually spreads, making anyone who sees it want to enjoy it right away. After a while, the meat pieces were prepared, neat and clean. Now everything was ready for the next step. Then I prepared a steamer, put in some fresh ginger leaves. The aroma of ginger will blend with each piece of meat, creating a rich and distinctive smoked meat dish. Once I put the meat in the steamer, I covered it and waited about 15 minutes. During that time, the ginger steam will gradually permeate each piece of meat, making the flavor more appealing. While waiting for the meat in the steamer to cook, I took the opportunity to take out a few other pieces of meat. Cut into bite-sized pieces to prepare for the next dish. The meat pieces look very attractive after being cut into small pieces. Shiny skin, rosy lean meat mixed with a bit of ivory white fat, all blend together to make the dish eye-catching and attractive. After neatly arranging the meat pieces on the plate, I continued to prepare the ribs. I separated the ribs into small sections, then skillfully chopped them into bite-sized pieces. Thanks to that, when displayed on a plate, it is both neat and convenient for enjoying. Once the ribs were chopped into small pieces, I started preparing the vegetables to cook with them. Carrots, potatoes, and even ripe pineapple all blend together with the ribs. Create delicious braised ribs with natural sweetness. Carrots, potatoes, and pineapple are peeled and cut into bite-sized pieces. The bright colors of the vegetables make the braised ribs more eye-catching. All the ingredients are ready. Now let's start the next dish. Delicious and attractive braised ribs with potatoes. First, I put the onions in a hot pan of oil and fry them until fragrant. The fragrant aroma of onions rises, creating a more attractive background for the dish. When the onions were golden brown, I put the ribs in the pan. The sizzling sound and the aroma of ribs mixed with onions make the kitchen more attractive. After a few stir fries until the ribs are firm, it's time to pour the broth down. While waiting for the pot of stewed ribs to boil, I took the opportunity to check the steamer. As soon as the lid of the steamer was open, hot steam billowed out. The distinctive aroma of smoked meat immediately spread, making me feel the richness and irresistible appeal. After checking the pot of steamed meat, I returned to find the pot of stewed ribs already boiling. Immediately after that, I put all the prepared vegetables into the pot of ribs: carrots, potatoes, pineapple mixed with the broth. While waiting for the pot of stewed ribs to cook, I took the time to peel the papaya and carrots, then cut them into thin strips. This will be the main ingredient to prepare a cool, refreshing, and light dish of papaya and carrot salad. After preparing the ingredients for the salad, I returned and the pot of braised ribs was just finished. The aroma wafted up, signaling that a delicious dish was ready. And next, I started with smoked meat stir fry, a simple dish, but with a distinctive, delicious, and irresistible flavor. To make the stir fry more flavorful, I added some chopped ginger. The spiciness of the ginger will accentuate the aroma of the smoked meat. Next, I added onions to the pan. The natural sweetness of the onions will blend in. Make smoked meat stir fry more flavorful and aromatic. After a period of preparation and cooking, all the dishes were completed. Now it's time for me to put it on the tray and prepare to enjoy the results. All the dishes have been neatly arranged on the table. Please enjoy this simple but flavorful meal. The fragrance spread everywhere, to the point that even the bees could not resist it, flying around as if to enjoy it together.
Không biết Thái ta đang quả tắm miệng. Bây giờ các bạn ăn.
Có ăn thịt rồi này, hôm nay. Ăn xương thịt cho góc bếp.
Nó mặn đấy.
Ăn bao nào?
Dạ.
Có ăn nhuộm bên ngoài lắm.
Không.
Ăn
Không.
không? Ăn con nhuộm bao giờ á?
Không.
Mắm mà. Mắm ngon ngon ngon.
Nè. Thịt này là chua thôi.
Ăn không?
Mẹ ơi.
Ăn miếng này đi.
Mà không. Dạ.
Đây, cái này là thịt nhiều hơn.
Món này to rồi.
Có ăn thịt đây này.
Mẹ thấy món nào ngon nhất đấy?
Rồi. Nước rồi.
Ăn chắc con đã không từng nấu.
Đi có vừa tắm xong.
Ăn lại thì
Món phụ là món nào?
lá phụ là món khoai tây. Có phải ca sĩ
bất đắc dĩ. Tôi cho không xì ra.
không phải ca sĩ tươi từ nó xí ra.
Tôi cho hồ xí.
Không nước bẩn nè.
After having breakfast with my daughter, I immediately prepared food for the dogs in the camp. The puppies ran around my feet, wagging their tails constantly, their eyes eagerly awaiting their meal. The dogs kept their eyes on the piece of meat in my hand, their eyes sparkling with anticipation. They are not just pets, but also close companions in my daily life. After a while of preparation, the food was done. I mixed it well and divided it into several portions for the dog to enjoy. When they saw that the food was ready, the dogs eagerly approached. Tails wagged continuously, as if urging me to share with them. Every time I get close and feed the dogs, I have an indescribable feeling. Both peaceful and happy to see them grow up healthy with me.
Ngon thế mà không ăn ruốc này, tạt tạt này. Ăn ruốc à? Ăn ruốc không lá bạn ạ. Cô Bin, 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 Bin. Nước cho mẹ nhìn nào.
When the dogs were full, I started preparing 10 kilograms of persimmons. Each fruit will be carefully peeled to make wind-dried persimmons a sweet specialty of autumn. First, I choose persimmons with smooth, shiny skin and a deep orange-yellow color. Fruit that is not bruised, or cracked will give the best quality. In particular, pay attention to choosing fruits with intact stems to easily tie strings when hanging in the wind. The fresh green leaf stalk shows that the persimmon is still fresh and will be crispy and sweet when eaten. Conversely, if the leaf stalk has turned yellow, means the persimmon has been picked for a long time. When eaten, it is often soft and bland. To make wind-dried persimmons, first peel each selected persimmon, then keep the stem intact. Tie the rope securely and hang it in a cool, breezy place. During the drying process, the persimmon will gradually dry. The flesh inside will be still retains natural sweetness, chewy and characteristic aroma.
นอนละ
After peeling, the persimmons revealed a shiny orange-yellow color, looking very eye-catching. Next, I blanched the persimmons in wine. This step helps kill bacteria, prevents mold, and keeps persimmons dry and delicious when hung in the wind. However, there are many ways to blanch persimmons, besides using wine. You can also quickly blanch it in hot water for a few seconds to kill bacteria and help the persimmon dry evenly, limiting mold. After blanching the persimmons, I prepared strong strings to tie to the stems, ready to hang the persimmons to dry in the wind. Once I had enough string, I tore it into small pieces, then tried it on the stem one by one, and started hanging the persimmons on the rig. And this step is also quite elaborate, requiring patience and skill so that each persimmon is hung neatly and firmly. After a long time of patience and meticulousness, each persimmon is plump and full. Each persimmon has been carefully tied with string and hung neatly on the trellis, ready to receive the sun and wind to dry gradually. Looking at dozens of persimmons neatly arranged and hanging, I feel that the effort was worth it. Now everything is ready, promising to produce batches of sweet and fragrant dried persimmons. Not only is dried rose valuable, but even the dried rose peel has many uses. Dried rose rind is often used as a folk medicine, helps treat coughs, reduce phlegm, aid digestion, and can also be brewed to make fragrant tea, good for health. And here, my journey of making wind-dried persimmons has come to an end. Thank you everyone for following and accompanying me. See you in the next videos with more interesting things.